Webtoons is having a comic contest right now with the $1 million prize pool, and the deadline is quickly approaching, the deadline being May 15th. So if you guys are just finding out about this, I am so sorry. Like, we are like neck deep into the contest at this point. So my series is called Hollowgate, and it's a gothic fantasy magical girl adjacent kind of series. And so if you guys like that kind of vibe, then definitely like check it out. I would really appreciate it. The link will be in my description, and it would mean a lot to me if you guys read it and let me know what you thought. I started pre-production of my series back in August, and I started the actual production in December. So it's taken me months to kind of like plan it out, design the characters, figure out plot points, and just decide on like what kind of vibe I want to go for. I'm like very inspired by magical girl anime, and even though my series isn't really like a magical girl, it's very like adjacent to it. There's more like I incorporated more gothic elements into like the fashion and the style and the aesthetics. I'm very inspired by gothic Lolita fashion, which is like something that I was just like very into. One of my favorite anime of all time is Magica Madoka. I am very like heavily inspired by it, and I'm just like a big fan of this series. This is actually the first and only tattoo that I have, and it's of Madoka's grief seed, and I love it so much. It's like my favorite thing. Like, I would totally get more tattoos if I had the money, you know? But yeah, for now that's the only one I have. Growing up, I also really loved watching other magical girl animes like Shugo Chara, Magical Do Re Mi, Card Captor Sakura, Black Rock Shooter, and like just a bunch others, but those are like the main ones that were like my favorites growing up. So knowing that this is the kind of media that I love, you already know I had to enter the most epic category and submit my series as the fantasy genre, of course. I just love drawing my characters, performing magic, and creating a magical world. But oh my god, did I struggle with writing the magic system. I remember it took me so long to figure out, but I eventually came up with like 4 like specializations that the students can pick. By the way, like my story is set in a magic school, and like each student is able to kind of pick their own unique path, kind of like Hogwarts, but I've only ever watched the first Harry Potter movie, so I don't know a lot about Harry Potter, but it's kind of like that kind of vibe. So yeah, I wanted to create 4 unique paths, and I wanted each path to kind of appeal to the students' strengths and weaknesses, likes and dislikes. And I think in the future, I want to make like a quiz that like my readers can take, so they can find out which path they might, you know, be in if they were to like attend the academy, hypothetically. One of the paths that the students can partake in is the Spellbinder path, and that's the one that my main character Celeste is in. The other 3 are Guardian, Mystic, and Herbalist. there's more actual information about the 4 paths in my series if you guys are curious. So this is my iPad that I use to draw my webcomic, and I think I prefer this like a lot more than working on a drawing tablet because I could just like take this anywhere. It's like super portable, like I could draw on my bed or the couch or just like anywhere, so it's very convenient for me. So as for the drawing program that I use, I mainly use Procreate because that's the one that I'm like most comfortable and familiar with. So these are all my buffers. Right now I have 3 chapters finished, and so like these are all like my noodles, as Webtoons would call it. I don't only rely on Procreate to make my webcomic because if you're a Procreate user, you know how shit the text function is. So what I do is I also use Ibis Paint, and I use Ibis Paint because it's just like so much better. What I do is I just like So in Ibis Paint, you can just like download any font you want to use, and so that's what I do. I just type out all my dialogue and text, and then I'll save it as a transparent image, and then I'll just like put it into my Procreate files. I also use Clip Studio, and I use Clip Studio for all the 3D assets, 3D models, special effects. Like the asset store just has like so many useful materials that webcomic creators can use. I just cannot be bothered to learn how to use Clip Studio because I think it is the best drawing app for making webcomics, but it's so confusing to me. I'm a lot more comfortable using Procreate at the moment, but I think in the future I'll slowly try to transition to Clip Studio because it is like the best in my opinion. Like here is an example of where I used a 3D background for this kitchen scene, and it just saved me a lot of time with backgrounds, honestly. Like I mainly draw most of my backgrounds, but for scenes like this, like it just made it a lot easier and faster. So my main character for my comic entry, her name's Celeste, and she's an OC that I've had for a while now. So I'm so happy to see like her story being told. If you guys followed my Instagram a while back, I used to draw a lot of art of her, and she was just like a comfort character for me. I love drawing her so much, and I even had like a draw this in your style of this piece, which is like something that I like tweaked and revamped for the contest. So I'm still working on a brief synopsis for my series Hollowgate, but I can show you guys kind of what I have so far. So, Celeste Silvercross is a student at Hollowgate Academy, a prestigious all-girls institution and a beacon for young women seeking to master their craft. Celeste, along with 3 other students, were chosen to enter the Hollow Realm, a virtual reality created to test their physical and magical abilities. I definitely need to add more to that, but that's what I got so far. I'm not very great at writing like short summaries of my series, so yeah, I'll have to edit that. So this is a more personal experience that I think a lot of creators can relate to. And it's how bad my rejection sensitivity has been. It has just caused me to become so anxious about posting my episodes for this contest and also promoting my series, which I haven't really done. I may look like I know what I'm doing and that I have it all together, but in reality, I doubt myself so much, and perfectionism has had a chokehold for me for the longest time. Like, I've just been so scared to promote my comic and to post about it, and I really pushed myself to even make this video because I was just putting it off for so long. I'm very much an introvert and a very secluded person, and I just like to stay in my little corner and draw for hours on end, which isn't really great, but I am trying to put myself out there and put my work out there and just trust in myself more. Luckily, I am a part of an active Discord server where there's all these creators who are supporting each other and motivating each other and just sharing their progress and sharing their entries for the contest. So that has kept me really motivated, and it's just been so much fun. So I feel really lucky for that. And for those of you who are struggling to promote your work or put your art out there, I just want you to know that it is never too late. It's never too late to open yourself up to people and to connect with other creators and to be a part of a community. There's so much more to gain from this contest than just submitting your entry. Just my art alone has improved so much from working on my webcomic. I have gotten so much better at anatomy, lighting, coloring, rendering. I feel like I've improved a lot. So I actually have an old webcomic that I did back in 2022, I think, and it's actually still up on Webtoons. There's only 3 chapters out, but if you compare that to my work now, it's night and day. And that was when I had no webcomic making experience, and I honestly didn't plan the story out that much. I just made it for the vibes, honestly. For my current webcomic Hologate, I made sure to do a good amount of planning. I wrote out all the plot points that I wanted to include, all the character and personality traits, and each chapter I made sure to kind of storyboard how I wanted it to flow and the story beats that I wanted to capture. So I'll show you guys. Here. I also put a lot of effort into designing the outfits for each character, and I made sure that each of them were unique. So yeah, I highly recommend planning as much as you can, but also letting yourself change and tweak things about the story and just be fluid and not too strict about what you want for your story, because things can change and you can like change your mind about certain things, so it's important to kind of have like a balance. And yeah, I wish you guys the best of luck for those who are planning on joining the contest. And like I mentioned, I'll have my series linked in the description if you want to check it out. And I'll also link some other creators who are like also covering this topic in my description as well. So thank you guys so much for watching this video and have a blessed day.